You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is November 19th, 2024 meeting of the LaPorte County Board of Zoning Appeals. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Seems like that's echoing. Can I get a roll call?
Deb Vance.
Here.
John Carr.
Here.
Ernie Schmidt.
Here.
Vern Schaefer.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, well, I will entertain a motion for the approval of the October 15th regular meeting minutes.
Make a motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Okay, so we're going to get into the petitions. Can you hear me? But before we get into that, I just want to remind you to silence your cell phones. And to remind you also that there is not traditional public comment. The comment is in the form of remonstrance, and how that works is if you are for or against a certain petition, when that petition comes up, that is your time to speak. Okay? So let's start with petition number 1. This petition for variance for use for Matthew Muller for construction and operation of an outdoor storage facility. This property is located east of 5502 East State Road 4, LaPorte, Indiana, Pleasant Township, Zone Ag at 2.63 acres. You want to give us your name and address for the record?
Matt Muller, 5652 East State Road 4,
Okay.
Mill Creek.
All right, so you want to give us some information on that? I know you had made some updates.
Okay, yeah, so after the last meeting, we took in consideration what you guys suggested, and we reached out to an engineering firm to address some of the concerns that you guys posed. One of the main ones being collection of rainfall water. I believe each of you have an engineer's drawing. So what we did was we had them maximize the potential use of buildings, if built, to collect the most amount of rainfall. Using the natural runoff of the water, will all go back towards the back part of the property with a 4-foot wide by 4-foot long retaining ditch pond in the back that will run the entire length of the property, roughly 490 feet, which would be more than adequate to collect all of the rainwater that would come off of the buildings. And then there was another concern about the access point off of the highway. So the current property meets NDOT approval for driveway residents. And speaking with those people, when speaking with NDOT, depending on how everything goes tonight, they will assign a special person to come out and assess the property to make adequate changes to the access point off of the highway.
Okay, so we will open it up for remonstrators only for the updates. So if anyone has for or against this project, only for the updates. If you want to come on up and tell us your name and address for the record.
My name is Ken Rosentreater. I live at 5502 East State Road 4. This property is adjacent to my property, our property. Some of the stuff that we are concerned about would be the people that come out to the storage places, thievery, drawing crowds out to the storage facilities. As far as the runoff goes, in the summertime, when the farmers are crop dusting their fields, our property gets coated with the same stuff they spray the fields with. We've had it on our shoes in our yard, and we're concerned about, having all that area over there not able to consume the poisons in their spraying as runoff. Also, the lighting out there that these storage containers would bring, and the you know, we bought that property out there in the middle of a cornfield, so it'd be dark and secluded, and we like our dark property. There's, from what we could come up with, there's all sorts of storage containers or storage facilities that are within 10 miles of our house. They're in Rolling Prairie all over the place. They're in Fish Lake down there.
1 mile.
You can go down there and take a look at the condition that them are in. Not saying that he would not take care of his stuff, but you know, we have seen over the years stuff just diminishing by us. And like I said, we bought the property out in the middle of a cornfield. We really never had any problems with them, with the greenhouses next door. You know, they had a thriving business there. We were not happy about the greenhouses put across the street. Of course, that's not our property or by our property, but still, it's intruding on everybody in the neighborhood. And I mean, unless my wife has something to say, I'd appreciate not letting the zone go through.
My name's Anita Rosentreater. I live at 5502 East State Road 4. And, you know, this is our home, and it's not a business. If I wanted to live next to businesses, I probably would have chose a home in LaPorte or in a city. And it's all homes within this area. It's labeled agriculture. It's not labeled business. You know, I don't understand why he's wanting to put it in the middle of nowhere. Down in Fish Lake, they have one down there. They haven't taken care of it. It hardly has any business. It's been up for sale forever. So why would, you know, we want one next to us? And, you know, like he even mentioned earlier before, you know, people coming in and out on that property there, you know, that's inviting trouble for our property because they're going to see what's on our property. We have children in the neighborhood, you know, and, you know, just down the street there was a child that was almost kidnapped on the end of the bridge. So it's not that far-fetched for a child to be picked up, you know, and, you know...
Okay.
What? And then like with the unwanted lighting, we've already got a lighting there that already bombards us. You know, you go adding more lighting in there, it's going to be impossible. I mean, what kind of, we're going to have to put, what, newspapers on our windows to keep the light out? I mean, you know, and then like he said with the runoff, I did hear him say something about the runoff. Does he mean all the way through the whole length of the property behind our house? You know, I didn't see no plans, so I don't know. But, you know, when it rains hard.
Okay.
And, you know, I just wouldn't want to see my property getting bombarded by a bunch of water and, like he said, the poisons.
Okay.
And,
all right. Do you have anything different than what your husband has shared with us?
I guess maybe not. I mean, I was trying to go through everything, but he skipped over back and forth, so I was trying to go through my list.
Okay, all right, so if you have anything different, then if you will hear for the next one then. Okay, thank you.
I do have one more thing to say. I did call a bunch of realtors and tried to get an appraisal, and they half of them didn't return my call. The ones that did, I talked to, said that they could not give an appraisal of our house except for what's currently going on. They couldn't give us any projections or anything like that. They said they'd have to come back a year later after it was already done with, and it's like, well, so, you know, I don't know what else to do to say that it would devalue our property. I don't know how else to prove that. So that was the only other thing that I
Okay,
had.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have any other remonstrators for or against? You want to come up and tell your name and your address for the record?
My name's Andrew Solomon. My address is 5551 East State Road 4. I live across the street. Really, my My only real thing is I just want to know about the lighting situation, because all my windows on my house face directly across. So if it's going to be like a bunch of floodlights and stuff like that, it's kind of a concern for me, because I like to keep my blinds, everything open. Other than that, I mean, I really don't have too much of an issue.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? So you want to come back up? Oh, okay. Okay. Got another one. Okay.
My name is Matt Garitano from Charles Hendricks and Associates Surveying and Engineering. We developed that desktop review of the plan. A lot of things were said, but I can't really comment on much of any other than the drainage and the lighting. LaPorte County has a lighting plan for site plans, so at this stage of it, we wouldn't necessarily have a lighting plan yet because we don't have approval to do the site. But I can attest that we would follow LaPorte County guidelines for the site design. As far as the drainage, no drainage for the proposed site is going to be headed west onto the adjacent neighbor's property. We're not allowed to dump water on anybody else's property. The property naturally flows to the south, and that pond is going to be completely, or not between, it's going to be on the opposite side of the buildings from the adjacent parcel. So it won't even abut the adjacent parcel. So for them to be worried about water, I understand that, but it's just not the case on here. The other items, I can't really speak to.
Well, thank you. Yep. You want to, anyone else? For or against? You want to come back up, Matt? You can come back up and... Okay. Did you want to add anything to that?
No, I mean, if you guys have any questions, we'll try to answer it the best that we can.
All right, with no further remonstrators we'll see what kind of questions we have from the board.
I noticed that the property to the adjacent to you to the west, there shows a lot of trees here.
Correct.
Would you consider putting a row of arborvitaes or something along that property?
So for their property, all the existing trees will remain. If the plan originally was to put arborvitaes along it, so that way there's an even more protection, so that they have less issues,
Your original plan, obviously, you're going to start with which buildings?
The ones running north and south. It all depends on money and everything, but...
Okay, but obviously what you're talking about is future expansion if it becomes necessary, but obviously you probably want to test the water and find out
Correct.
The occupancy rate.
Correct.
But you're going to start with the plan with the buildings north and south.
Correct.
Well, I would suggest that you try to, if we do approve this, that you do maintain some kind of a buffer between you and your neighbor, so they don't have to look at your buildings. And obviously, it takes a while for trees to grow. But I understand that. That's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
How long is there during the day is this facility going to be open?
I remember you asking that the last time. The plan is to have a automatic gate with a password, so that way it's going to limit the amount of people that can access the storage units. Should also answer some of their questions as far as unwanted people showing up at unwanted times. Does that answer it, or?
Yeah.
I know it's kind of a broad answer, but.
Yeah. I just kind of curious on what would prevent maybe somebody who has a shed out there from coming at 2 o'clock and opening up for all their friends to hang out.
Well, so the perk is once the security system is on the premises, then if it's a password encoded gate, if we only did say 8 to 6 p.m., 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., the gate would only be open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. to where that would limit, basically answer that question right there.
Well, I think that's limited hours is kind of important.
Right.
Because of the
Right.
fact that there are neighbors. It's not in the middle of nowhere.
Correct.
All right.
And I believe with the password gate, that would limit basically anything. Especially if it has an automatic lock at a certain time.
Yeah, because that was my question. If you weren't going to have a 24-hour access to it, right?
No, in perfect world, it would only be X AM to
Times,
X
okay.
PM.
Okay.
Madam President, I would just like to add for public information for those concerned in the audience or at home that the lighting regulations that would apply to this, if approved, can be found in section 17.04 in our LaPorte County Joint Zoning Ordinance, and that is available online for anyone to peruse. Thank you.
Thank you. So any further questions from the board? No, with no further remonstrators or no more questions from the board, I would entertain a motion.
I'm going to move that we grant this petition for variance for the use for Matthew Miller for construction and operation of outdoor storage facilities with the restriction of hours of operation, probably, as you state, between 8 and 6 p.m. and only not on Sunday. And and also that you try to establish a better buffer between you and the neighbor as far as trees are concerned on the west side.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Oh boy, that's just number one. Okay, petition number 2. Petition for variance of developmental standards for Donald L. Hodgkinson and Adele R. Polsgrove for addition of water for a mudroom, bathroom, and a pole barn. This property is located at 8495 West, 350 South, LaPorte, Indiana, New Durham Township, Zone Ag at 1.06 acres.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. Would you give your name and address for the record?
My name is Keith Polsgrove, and I'm at 8495 West 350 South.
Okay. Okay, so you want to give us some information about it?
Well, we're putting a pole barn up,
Okay.
and I'd like to have a bathroom with a hose for like a wash bay, and it's on the back side of the property, so running back inside to use the bathroom is a minimal there.
Okay. All right. Okay, do you have anything else? So we can open it up for remonstrators for or against the petition. Do we have any remonstrators for or against? Or no one for or against? Okay. Do we have any questions from the board? You want to come back up?
There's a residence on the property right now,
On the front parcel, yes.
so it's just an additional building that you want
Yeah.
water in it. That's all.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, well, there's no other questions and no other remonstrators. I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve this.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Congratulations, motion carries. Okay, that won't be that easy. Okay, petition number 3, petition for variance of use for George E. and Susan M. Neal Seller and Robert Baum Buyer to operate an ice cream parlor. This property is located west of 7701 East State Road 4, Walkerton, Indiana, Lincoln Township, Zone R1B.
Notice adequate.
Name and address for the record?
I'm Emily Howard. It's 2401 South 500 East Mill Creek 46365. I'm representing BB Enterprises and Robert and Ashley Baum for 3 and 4.
Oh, I was gonna wait. I got 2 there. Hey, which one are we looking at? Okay, that was first. Okay. All right, so you want to give us some information about this petition?
Okay, so this is proposing to purchase the property and put an ice cream shop there. They're planning to be open 6 days a week. That would be Sunday through Friday. And that would be 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And they plan to have outdoor covered and uncovered seating and parking as well there.
Okay. Is that it on there? Yeah. Okay, well, I will open it up for remonstrators, for or against. If you want to come up and give us your name and address for the record.
I'm Phyllis Schoaf.
Can you hear?
And I live next door to where the ice cream parlor wants to go in. I've lived there for 62 years. And I don't think it belongs there. There is not enough room for cars to park. There's not enough room for cars to turn in there. The semis from the farmers going towards South Bend with their grain in there, they do not check the speed limit. They just zoom through there. Last week there was a young fella riding a bike. The semi had to pull over into the other lane. Luckily there was no one else coming. Cars going down there, it worries me about the children walking, because the cars going down that highway see how close they can come to you. There was one young man killed by a car while he was walking by the Catholic Church. About 2 years ago, a woman was walking. They clipped her. She broke her elbow. And I would like to know who's going to keep that cleaned up. That has not been clean in years. It has cost me, in the last 2 years, $375 for the exterminator to come to my house because of mice. And it just worries me, the speed and everything that goes through there. If there's somebody wanting to turn in to get an ice cream cone and there's a semi behind them, there's no way they're going to be able to stop. We've had a pizza place and an ice cream parlor across the street already from us. It had to close up because of the business. They couldn't make it. And will I be having lights all night long or whatever? Is this going to be a drive-through? Is this going to be an ice cream parlor where you can go in and have ice cream? And that one side there, that's nothing but swampland. I just can't see it, and my taxes, I'm sure, will go up. It's just not a right corner for an ice cream parlor or any business.
Okay.
And I just can't see it. And will they put up a privacy fence? Don't know. And does the Board of Health check on that?
Yes.
Don't know. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah. I'm Terry Shope. I'm her son.
Okay.
I just happen to be in town. I no longer live in this area. I live in Delaware. One of my big concerns would be if it's a business with a parking lot, where's the runoff, rainwater runoff going to go to. Like my mother said, to the north side of the property is nothing but swamp. And the swamp eventually goes into actual fish lake. It'll actually dump into there. The other thing is, I don't know if anybody's done a traffic study on this piece of property. There's no stop. There's stops on Longshore Drive that borders State Road 4 right there. There's stop signs. But on the actual highway, there's no type of stopping. And like she said, when people come through there, of course, nobody does speed limit. They're well above the speed limit. All the commercial business in that area is east of that area. It's basically on the other side of the channel of Fish Lake on State Route 4. Down by the library, there's the store, the firehouse, and so forth. This here, as far as I know, is, from what my mother says, this is all residential zoned. I don't know that this is zoned for commercial use at all. And like she said, you know, what effects it going to have on her property? Are they going to have lights on 24 hours a day? Or not 24 hours a day, but at nighttime for security purposes and so forth? There's no sidewalks in this area whatsoever. There's not even a shoulder on the road, on the highway.
I've already had 2 cars in my yard that had to be towed out. And I sure would hate to see a semi or another car come in there, or a child get hit just because they're walking down for an ice cream cone. It just scares me. And that's what I have to say.
All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Are there any other remonstrators for or against this petition? You want to come back up? With no remonstrators, do we have any questions from the board?
You submitted a drawing, and what I've counted was 16 parking spaces.
Okay.
But there's no dimensions in any of this. It's just a nice drawing, obviously, but I don't know if it really works as far as the dimensions are concerned. Plus, there was some talking. You put a parking facility in that large, you're going to have a place to store the water.
Okay.
And I don't think it's adequate enough area to allow that kind of pavement or parking and with that, because there's no storm sewers here.
Okay.
So there's no retention area. So I think in my thinking is the plan is inadequate.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions?
Could I address her concerns?
Sure.
Just as far as the entrance, it is currently from the highway, but if given permission, his plan would be to put the entrance off the side road so that traffic wouldn't be stopped. They would only be stopping to turn as usual traffic would be. Also, in efforts to want to be able to clean up the property, because as she stated, it's just been kind of an overgrown lot for many, many years now. So his intention was to be able to clean it up, to make it look nicer as an entrance from that end of the town.
Okay. Right. Any other concerns or questions?
So I assume you're going to build a new building there?
It is already, it's one of those pre-built shed Amish type style buildings. And so all the equipment, everything would be contained in there. And so then it would only be serving from inside of that building. Seating would only be outside.
Okay.
So is there water and electric? I take it ran to there already?
I do not know those details. I was told that they said that we could call him if you had more detailed questions we needed to ask.
And you probably, a public place would have to have a restroom too, I don't. Okay. But.
Well, personally, I don't think there's enough space there for water retention and what you're planning here as far as parking, and so I can't see how this could possibly work in that particular spot.
Okay.
Because of that restraint. It's not large enough to also have water retention.
Okay.
Is there a plan to, do you know, to put a fence up? I see there's bushes.
Yes, arborvitae row and as well as a fence if required.
Okay. Is there any other? So with no further comments from the board or remonstrators, I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we don't pass this.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Okay, I guess that is, it didn't pass.
Okay.
Your petition was denied. 30 days to appeal.
Okay.
After 1 year.
You have a better plan.
Okay.
If you do reapply, I would recommend.
See us later.
Updating the plan,
Mhm.
addresses drainage and making negative.
So even he could do that within this 30 days otherwise as well?
It's denied.
Oh, because I'm the next one.
Yeah, she's the next one.
The next one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So petition petition for variance of use for BB Enterprise Inc. to operate a boat, car, and RV storage business. This property is located at 2606 East State Road 2, Rolling Prairie, Indiana, Kankakee Township, Zone B2 and A on 38.994 total acres. You want to give your name and address for the record?
Okay, it's Emily Howard, 2401 South 500 East, Mill Creek, 46365.
Okay.
And so the plan is to put in a boat, RV, and vehicle storage. Their plan is to have a 24-hour remote gated access with lights on a gravel lot. Each unit would be 14 feet by 45 feet long. And the phase 1 building will have 11 units available.
Okay. Anything else to add to that?
That's that,
Okay.
just that he stated the this would be beneficial to the city and the county ordinances in reference to storage of such RVs and boats.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll open it up for remonstrators for or against this petition. Do we have any remonstrators for or against this petition? Seeing or hearing none, we will open it up to the board for questions.
This is zoned ag, again. It's quite a bit of acreage. I see you got plans showing for the buildings and stuff here that you sent, and quite a bit of detail on how they build them. But as far as the layout of this whole thing, I don't know how you're planning on laying it out. And again, I concern myself with water retention. Obviously, this has got to be, you got to hold your water. So so if there's going to be a lot of area that's gravel, then there has to be a place to store water. And I see a drawing here of phase 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. But I don't really see any water retention area.
Okay.
Anyone else have any questions or concerns? With no concerns?
Yeah.
Questions? Any others? Okay, well.
I guess I would just, on that note, I don't know what the laws are about water retention and storage, but I do know that, as you see, they have a very large property with, I'm sure, room to make a retention pond there. Different than the other property that was much smaller.
Yeah, I guess the other question I had for you, is this going to be for indoor and outdoor, like storing RVs outside?
Yes, on gravel lots.
Okay. Well, we can add that to our motion that you come up with a plan for water retention, obviously.
Okay.
Okay, well, if there's no other comments or concerns, we will entertain a motion.
So I move that we grant this petition for variance for B&B Enterprises with the stipulation that they show where the water retention is going to be and how that is going to work into the system. And of course, there's different phases, so it'll have to be adequate for all the phases.
Okay.
Can I add that the plan will be subject to approval by the building commissioner? Okay,
Yes.
we got to check on it.
Yeah, that, yeah. Okay. All right, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodness. Okay, so we have petition number 5, petition for variance of use for Intralock 3 LLC for flex warehousing. So see Exhibit 1. This property is located at 1402 West Highway 20, Michigan City, Indiana, Cool Spring Township, Zone Ag, and 3.2 acres.
No, it's adequate.
Thank you. Okay, you want to state your name and address for the record?
Yes, Arnold Hernandez, 1402 US 20, Michigan City.
Okay, you want to give us some information on it?
Yeah, so we purchased this property last year, June 2023. There's already some storage buildings on there, and there's some additional land to build on, and we want to build some flex warehousing units. What that is, it's units a little bit bigger for about 1,500 square feet-ish each unit. About 6 units in each building, and that'll serve its purpose for like contractors who just want to store their vehicle and tools. It's called flex warehousing for the same reason. There's a lot of use cases for it. It could be someone who maybe wants to detail cars, run like a small, small business out of there, kind of. What else you can use it for? Even storage. Someone who has antique cars or some nice cars that just wants to simply store them there. It can serve that purpose as well. I laid out some of those examples in the business plan. Subject but not limited to some of those.
Okay. All right. Well, if we have any remonstrators for or against this petition, you can step up and give us your name and address. Any remonstrator for this petition for or against? Okay, we do not. So we have questions from the board.
Same deal. Are you you're building this in phases?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't really decided that since it's only 3 buildings. It's not too much, but if we did, we'd start on the west end and work our way east.
3.2 acres again.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you keep your water on site.
Yeah.
Because there's no sewer here. This is ag, right? This is zoned ag.
Right.
There's no sewer.
Yeah, it was originally they told me that if we developed under an acre, if we tore down less than an acre, we wouldn't have to worry about the stormwater drainage. But under this plan, obviously we would. But I was gonna take care of that, if we got approved.
Okay. Anyone else? And you said this is to be used so they can run little detail shops and stuff out of the warehouse?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe someone who owns like a party rental business. Maybe they just have like tables and chairs there. There's a lot of different use cases for it.
Because you mentioned car detailing. Is that going to, so that would be a lot of people coming in and out of there, do you think? Or?
No, I don't think they're, we don't expect it to be trafficked or, highly trafficked at all.
Okay.
What kind of buildings are they?
Steel buildings.
So they're steel framed, they don't sit on a foundation, or?
Well, yeah, we would probably do, steel.
But they're on a foundation.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
With no further questions, then we will entertain a motion.
I move that we grant the petition for variance for interlock for flex warehousing, providing they obviously have to show us, show the building commissioner the water retention area that you're planning, since you're adding so many buildings to this area.
Right.
Okay. Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, same sign. It carries. Congratulations. That's over here. Get rid of it. Okay, we have petition number 6, petition for variance of developmental standards for Frank and Rebecca Nevels for construction of a third accessory into the front of the house and side of the driveway. This property is located at 4577 South Wozniak Road, LaPorte, Indiana, New Durham Township, Zone Ag, on 2 acres.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. You want to give us your name and address for the record?
I'm Rebecca Nevels and I live at 4577 South Wozniak Road, LaPorte.
I'm going to pull that a little closer. You can pull it bends. Yeah. Thank you.
The plan is
Do I need to say it again or we?
No, nope, that's okay. Just go ahead.
All right, I am just here because we have a petition for a variance so we can put a garage up on the side, front side, off to the side of our house.
Okay. All right. So we will open it up for remonstrators for or against this petition. Anyone here for or against this petition? Okay, seeing none, we'll open it up for the board.
Yeah, nothing.
Any questions?
Good.
You're good? Any questions, John?
Nope.
Okay, with no questions, then I guess we'll open it up for a motion.
I move that we grant this petition.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, give me that back. The wrong thing there. Oh boy. Okay, petition number 7. Petition for variance of developmental standards for Eric and Kelly Stoll, owner, and Alana and Joseph Novak Jr. buyer, to split a parcel in 2. Parent parcel will have easement access and 6.41 acres. New parcel will have 2.5 acres and 155 feet of frontage instead of the 200 minimum requirement, and to build a home on the new parcel. This property is located at 3923 North Meritage Trail, LaPorte, Indiana, Center Township, Zone R1B, on 8.91 acres.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. You can give us your name and address for the record?
My name is Joseph Novak Jr. My address is 4747 West US Highway 20 here in LaPorte.
Okay. You want to give us some information about it?
Yes. Currently we reside at 4747 in a loft above Novak's Auto Repair, and I own a company called All Pro Buildings. We specialize in new home construction, and through a business exchange, had the opportunity to obtain, this split parcel and kind of lay some roots down and build a house of my own. And, we'd just like to request a variance so that we can, put a house up for ourselves.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll open it up for remonstrators for or against this petition. Do we have anyone here for or against? You want to come up and give us your name and address for the record?
Hard time with this drawing.
Hmm?
I have a hard time figuring this drawing out.
Yes.
I'm Jim Staples. I live on this piece of land he's talking about is a piece of pie. I got 1 acre on this corner. I moved in there in 1957. I hate to see what's happening. He's buying up land that belonged to me. But I never did pay for it. No, this is a comical. But have no objections of him building. He's building in my backyard. And I have talked to the neighbors, and the neighbors don't have no complaint. So I want to welcome him as a neighbor.
And what was your address again? I'm sorry.
Beg your pardon?
Your address, what was your address? Your address.
Yeah.
What is your address?
My what?
Your address.
Oh, 4101 525 West.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. You have anything else to share?
Nope.
Okay. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening. My name is Jeff Nosich. We own the property at 3925 North Meritage Trail. One question I had was access to this parcel. Right now it's landlocked, and there's a parcel directly south of it that adjoins my property, to which I have granted an easement to that specific property. I'd like to know, access to this new parcel.
I can speak to that if you want.
I'm sorry?
I can speak to that if you want.
Would you? Yes, please.
So they will have 155 feet of road frontage off of, I think it's 525, and they will be using that as their entrance.
Okay. Do you want to come back up?
So that would answer, or that was the question I had. Where exactly is that 155 feet of road frontage? It's on County Road 525 West. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
And then where come approach here. I got a question.
For the building at.
Where exactly is here's the property. Where exactly are you talking about the house?
Can I use your pen?
Sure.
Thank you, sir. It's this section right here.
Yes.
Is what is going. Then you kind of see right there, right just off of Jim's property at the 4101, there is already a trail that people have used for their
So this is your access, and your house is going to be in this area here?
Yes, the house will be right about there.
I know it's hard to draw on that. But
Yeah.
I'll show my board members. Thank you. He's talking about the house being right in this area here.
Oh, okay.
This is the access off of 525.
That's through the woods, right?
Oh, yes, just off 525 through the woods, yes. There's already probably a 20-foot wide driveway that people have used for their ATVs or morning walks or like that. And so, there was no driveway created for this. There's always been the trails for that. We kind of just, transform the trails into our access into there, per se.
Well, as that lot narrows to the back, you got to be careful about when you build a house there that you maintain your offsets from your neighboring property.
Yes, sir. We'll be, I've gone back there and kind of laid stuff out. We'll be 40 feet from the south and then at least 60 feet from the north. So we're pretty deep in there.
Okay.
I think we have one more person that wanted to come up and speak. I apologize for that.
Here's a little bit bigger map. Yeah.
I think we got it. You got
it. Something a little larger.
My name is Dan Adams. I live at 5252 North Fell Road. I'm in Kankakee Township. I'm not near them, but I'm here to speak on Joe as an individual. I've worked with his father for 25 years. They've turned wrenches for me and everything else.
Yes, sir.
The property that he's looking at is within 5 miles from where he grew up. He's went in the military when he got out of school. He's been places. He's came back here to put his roots down. If you look at the beacon picture there, within 1,000 feet of the property line in each direction on 525, there's 11 homes with less than 200 foot of frontage, and 3 of those homes have 50 foot or less with a drive layout consistent with what he's trying to do there as well. And there are 5 homes with 2 acres or less, and 3 of these homes are 1 acre or less. And that's all within less than half a mile where he's putting his home. And that doesn't include the subdivision or anything like that. That's all I had to say is, as a person, he's a stand-up guy. And he's going to build a house, and he's not building it to flip it to make money or anything else. He's building it to raise a family. And that's what his intention is. And I know he does good work because I've contracted him to build a house for me.
Well, thank you.
That's what I have.
Thank you so much.
Your house will be back in here.
Okay.
Okay.
We have any other remonstrators for or against? Any other questions from the board? Hearing none, we will entertain a motion. Oh yeah, come on up.
Oh,
You have something?
I was just gonna make a motion.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to grant the approval for this petition.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, that was 7. Gotta mark them off. Make sure I don't say the same one again. Okay, we have petition number 8, petition for variance of developmental standards for, is this Christopher? Supposed to be Christopher? Michael Klein for construction of a residential use pole barn with a bathroom located to the side of the home instead of the rear. This property is located at 9522 North, 125 East, LaPorte, Indiana, Galena Township, Zone Ag on 22.469 acres.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. Can you give us your name and address for the record?
This is my wife, Marina, and I'm Chris.
Hi.
And we're at 9522 North, 125 East. We own a total of 41 acres and 2 parcels. That parcel is roughly almost 23 acres. And we're proposing to build a wood shop with a bathroom on the southeast corner of our property that's closest to our residence, which is about close to 125 yards from our residence, is why we're putting in a bathroom.
Yeah. Okay. And that's what this drawing here is. That's where you look at. It's going to be. Is that, okay.
Yes, that's about roughly 130 to 140 feet off the road.
Okay.
So it's a little bit bigger than it looks on that picture, and there's a little over to probably about 1.25 to 2 acres in that small area of green there.
Okay.
We're within all our distances from, per the commissioner, from the neighbors and any wetlands. And we've already had a soil sample done. We've already sent it to the health department, and we were waiting to see if we get the variance to move on with surveys. We've already got a plan for the building I believe that you have in front of you.
Mm-hmm. D&L.
And our neighbor that we're closest to, he's on board. He's going to probably utilize some of that space in that wood shop too.
Okay. All right. Well, we will open it up for remonstrators for or against this petition. We have anyone for or against? Okay. Hearing none, we will open it up for questions from the board.
This is not going to be a rental property or anything like that. It's just a man cave, right?
That's correct. Well, my wife said I may have to stay.
Yeah, I've got a feeling you're going to get kicked out. Yeah.
I have a small bladder. I don't like to walk that far.
It's a little bit of a walk from the house, but over the course of 41 acres.
Gosh.
I mean, some people have a lot. We got a little. We're happy with it, but we don't have anywhere to put the tractor, and we don't have anywhere to put my tools and stuff like that.
And
so.
she said, yes, she said you.
Yeah.
And him.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, then we will entertain a motion.
I make a motion we pass this.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay. Okay, moving along. Okay, we have petition number 9, petition for variance of developmental standards for Consuelo Finesca Montano seller and Michael O'Hearn buyer for construction of a garage before the primary home to the side of the future home with side setbacks of 6 feet and 7 instead of the minimum 10 required, a front setback of 23 feet instead of the minimum 25 required, a rear setback of 19 feet instead of the minimum 25 required, and a 10-foot waterway setback instead of the minimum 50 feet required. This property is located west of 321 Island Drive, LaPorte, Indiana, Center Township, Zone R1B.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. Want to give us your name and your address for the record?
Sure, Michael O'Hearn, 106 Island Drive.
Okay. All right, you want to tell us about it?
Sure. Obviously, the property has, I don't know if you guys have the plat up, but the property has some configuration issues due to the pond in the back, and then there was a seawall that was put in several owners ago. So they kind of limited our depth, so we have width. So looking at the property in terms of putting the garage with the house on it and everything, I unfortunately need to go through some setbacks.
Okay. All right, well, we'll open it up for remonstrators for or against this petition. Anyone remonstrator for or against?
I'm for.
All right, he's for. We got you on the record. All right, so then we'll open up for the board. Any concerns or questions?
You're going to build a house eventually, is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
I'm just curious, you're showing this garage going up first and you're not going to attach it to the house.
Correct.
You're leaving a space between. Any particular reason?
Well, put it this way, that's what we're showing right now. It may ultimately attach. One of the issues is we have to get some variances in order to move forward with design and all the other stuff before I put all that money into it. If I can't get the variances, then I'm not going to move forward with all that stuff. So that was one of our plans, but I think the side setbacks are pretty much going to be what we need, the side and front and back. So ultimately, it very well could be attached.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
I guess the one drawing, now that you mentioned it, now I know why I asked that question. Because the one picture shows that the garage is not attached to the house. The next one shows that it's attached. The drawing toward the back shows that the garage is attached to the house, and I just wondered which one was correct.
Oh, I see what you're saying. We've done a couple different plans. Obviously, it's planning phase. So we've done a couple different plans. One of them is the attached, one's detached.
Obviously, you have to run the roof design correctly, otherwise you're
well, and that would be the builder. Before we would do everything, obviously the architect, I haven't hired the architect yet because we have to, the property has to be brought into the conservancy, so I have to petition the court for that. It's a long process, and to spend the money on the architect until I know where we're at on variances. I mean, I can't do anything front and back. I have to go width. If I don't get the width, then I can't do anything, and I know I can't buy the property. So that's why I'm even here in front of you with a generic type of plan.
Well, as I flipped through my notes, I just noticed that.
Okay. But thank you for looking at everything I proposed.
Okay, well, if there's no further concerns or questions, you want to entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to grant the variance.
Do we have a motion? Do we have we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Congratulations.
You guys are the best. Thank you. Have a great day.
Burning through.
Which way? Let me mark this off. You gotta make sure I'm marking them off so I don't read the same one again. Okay, so we have petition 10, petition for special exception for Linda Bush seller and Luke Land LLC buyers for a convenience store with gasoline sales. This property is located at west of 9932 West 300 North, Michigan City, Cool Spring Township, Zone B3 on 4.089 acres.
No, it's adequate.
Thank you. You want to give us your name and address for the record?
Yes, hi, I'm Dan Tersman. Address is 3592 North Hobart Road, Hobart, Indiana, 46342. So I'm here on behalf of Luke Land LLC, Luke Family of Brands. I'm the Director of Development. We're a local convenience store gas station operator out of Hobart, Indiana. And we are proposing to, or we have an offer to purchase this property. It's the southeast corner of US Highway 421 and I believe it's West 300 North. It's about approximately a 4-acre parcel. We would be developing the northern acre and a half to 2 acres of it, so approximately the northern third of the property. With a gasoline station convenience store is what we're proposing with your approval of the use. So the property is zone B3 highway commercial, and in that zoning the use is an approved use as a special exception. We would be having to, we do have adequate space for detention. So we haven't designed the detention pond, but there would be a surface detention pond designed on south of the parking lot area. And then there's a regulated ditch at the very south end of the parcel that then stormwater would eventually be directed to with a permit from the DNR. And so we're also we would be working with INDOT on all the requirements for access to the property. We do have no imminent plans, but potentially, again, it's a 4-acre parcel of which we would be using an acre and a half plus whatever was necessary for detention. So there would be some potential of future development and parceling off the remaining area for future commercial development at a later date. So we're essentially asking for approval of the special use at this time.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. We're going to open this up for any remonstrators for or against this petition. Anyone for or against? You want to come up and give us your name and address for the record?
Yeah, my name's Patrick Hagedis, 9932 West 300 North. So I live right next door to that property.
Okay.
So basically, I don't have a problem with gas station. I knew something was going to be developed, unless you guys want to buy my lot too. It's for sale with the right price. Yeah, just some type of fence, because it's going to be what, a 24-hour gas station?
Can I answer?
Probably. I just want some type of divider, because we live there, my grandkids come there, everything.
Okay.
I don't know how they're going to access 300 or if they're going to access 421. There's a stoplight's right there, so they only got like 200 feet before my property.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I know there's city waters and city sewers because Love's just went across the street. D&M just put all that in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only concern I have, is some type of fence or boundary between me and them. I don't want people coming there at night, drunks or whatever, getting pops and cross over into my property. That's the only concern.
All right, thank you. Have any other remonstrators for or against? No? Okay, you want to come back up? You can address that.
Sure. So to address Patrick's concerns, first of all, it won't be a 24-hour operation. I don't know exactly what the hours of operation at this location would be. Typically for this type of a site, it would be 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. So we wouldn't. This would not be a 24-hour operation. Concerning a fence, we would have no issues with doing some kind of a privacy fence, as well as landscaping to shield that off. I believe there are some requirements in the ordinance for buffers to buffer areas to that. So we would be following those guidelines. And so again, certainly would not have any issues with addressing those concerns and making sure that we are a good neighbor.
Okay, and he did, one thing, he did mention the access. Would you have access to it from both 300 and 421?
So up on the board here now is the preliminary proposed site plan. So there is a access off of 300 as well as off of 421. Okay. So it's a little difficult to see there, but kind of on the east end there, and it's really kind of a secondary access point off of 300. It's really mainly to be able to for ease of circulation for fuel deliveries and trucks like that. I also should mention this is not a commercial gas site, so there's no semis or anything like that. We would have diesel for work trucks and stuff like that, but it's not intended to be a semi truck stop or anything like that.
Okay. All right. So any other remonstrators? Hearing and seeing none, we'll open it up for questions from the board.
Hey Dan, is this your first gas station in LaPorte County, or is there another?
Yes, this is our first in LaPorte County. Yes.
My husband and mother-in-law worked at it forever. Okay. Is there any other questions, concerns?
I have a question, Madam President. The ditch that you were referring to and said that you would check with DNR. If it is a regulated drain, the County Drainage Board may also have jurisdiction with an easement. So I just want to make sure that we check with them and DNR when it comes to that drainage ditch.
Yes, I appreciate that, and we will certainly go through all those the appropriate avenues. Again, this was kind of step one, is the approval of the use, and from there we would contact the agencies to go through the permitting as necessary. As there may also be an easement that will be necessary from the neighboring property for that access to that for the stormwater. So there are some other steps that we're going to need to take, but that's something, this was step one of the process.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Great.
All right. Any other questions or concerns from the board?
No.
Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we approve this.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Thank you. Okay, that was number 10. I was about to read it again. Okay, we have petition 11, petition for variance of developmental standards for Daryl and Judith Smith for moving lot lines between the two lots to the east, leaving lot 2 with 160 feet of road frontage instead of the minimum 200 and 0.65 acres. This property is located at 5995 and 5995 and a half North Sherwood Lane, LaPorte, Indiana, Springfield Township, zoned R1B on 3.315 total acres.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. Would you give your name and address for the record?
5995 North Sherwood Drive, LaPorte, Indiana.
And what's your name?
Judy Smith.
And you can bring that down. That bends.
Okay.
All right.
Could you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So,
and Daryl Smith.
And
Daryl Smith.
Here, okay. And you live at the same address?
Yeah,
Okay.
5995
Right.
North.
So if you want to tell us about it?
No.
Yeah, we own both pieces of property, and we built a garage on the one property that was 200 and some feet, 250 foot long, but we want the garage included with our house, because my son is gonna, there's already a house there, and that's gonna go to him, but we don't want him to have our garage.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't get your garage.
Right. So we want to move the property line so it's with our property.
Is he here to be remonstrated against that?
No. No, he's not.
Okay, well, we'll open it up for remonstrators. Anyone here for or against that petition? Anyone? Nope, nobody here for that? Okay, we'll open it up to the board for questions or concerns.
That's why I was gonna ask you, why do you wanna move the lot line? And just so that the garage is included with the house.
With our house,
currently
yeah,
there.
instead of,
But that leaves the lot that remains relatively small.
it's, yeah, but it's still, you know, plenty of grass to cut and leaves to pick up.
I'm thinking about the future, you know, as far as selling the property and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've given that any careful thought, but because of that garage, that makes that one lot very small.
Well, we're gonna have that with our property, with our house.
What? Yeah.
So in other words, it's attached to another lot?
No other lot.
Okay.
But he already has a house on that lot, is that
Yeah,
right?
Right.
2 houses and the garage in between,
Where the
and
160 is, yes.
but
So you just want to
we
move it
want
over?
that
Yeah.
with our property.
So he can't come and get your garage.
Right.
Okay, any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we pass this.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Congratulations, you get your garage.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, petition number 12, petition for variance of developmental standards for Shirley North for construction of a second accessory structure in front of and to the side of the home instead of the rear. This property is located at 8254 West, 1500 South, Wanata, Indiana, Cass Township, Zone Ag on 1.243 acres.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. Could you give us your name and address for the record?
Shirley North, 8254 West, 1500 South in Wanata, Indiana.
Okay, so you want to tell us about it?
Well, I just want to buy it so I can put the structure beside and up front instead of in the rear.
Okay. Take a look at it. Okay. All right. Well, then if you don't have anything else to say right now, we'll open it up for remonstrators for or against this petition. For or against this petition? No remonstrators? Okay, we'll open it up to questions for the board.
Nothing.
No questions? Okay, well, then we're gonna entertain a motion.
I move that we grant this petition for Shirley for construction of that second garage. Or second structure.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I've got one more. Where did that one go? No. Okay, so we have petition 13, petition for special exception for LaPorte Expo Investments LLC for a convenience store with gasoline sales. This property is located at 5636 East Highway 20, Rolling Prairie, Indiana, Wills Township, Zone B2 on 6.62 total acres.
Notice adequate.
You want to come on up and give us your name and address for the record?
Hello, my name is Matthew Kirkwood. My address is 8598 East 50 North, Mill Creek, Indiana. I work with Dan Charner and Associates, an engineering firm, and I represent the owners. And we prepared the site plan, preliminary site plan, and we're proposing the gas station, 6,400 square foot gas station convenience store. It'll have 2 food counters in there. And because of the gasoline sales, we need that variance.
Okay.
I can tell you more about it if you want. I mean, I don't know if you have the site plans there in front of you.
Well, we do. Okay.
What was our previous?
Well, that's the it's catty corner at Jenny Ray's.
Oh.
A junction.
Okay. Okay.
And I have the site plan, and and I'm not saying this to brag, but I was a college professor for 30 years, so I always feel like show and tell here.
All right.
But our plan does show, proposed plan does show a retention basin a place for septic, which would be required, and then shows the gas station itself. There's 8 pumps over here for vehicles, and there'll be 3 pumps over here for semi-trucks.
Okay.
Now, this is, the curb cuts are already there on the highway, and they've been recently added. There's a decel lane if you're westbound, that's separated, and you can only exit then, it'll be eastbound only. And that's already been established. The highway was, highway department, was fortunately put all that infrastructure in. So it's all set up for that. And then the plan, again, we're showing septic and we're showing detention, retention, but there's also an opportunity of connecting to city or public utilities possibility. And so once we get a little bit further in, we can kind of cost that out. But we do have plenty of room for the water. I just got the soils report back and it looks good. So we're adequately sized at this point for that development.
Okay. All right, so we'll open it up for remonstrators for or against this petition. Anyone here for or against? Okay. And do we have any more questions from the board? Any concerns?
I'd be happy to answer questions.
Okay.
I've done my homework.
It looks like it.
Okay, any questions, John?
Just looking. No, I don't think so.
No questions? Okay. Hearing no questions, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve this.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and it looks like our petition 14, we had a request to be tabled.
I move that we table that.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign.
That would pass.
All right. Do we have any new business?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, well, it's on there. You gotta say it. Okay, so if we have no further business to come before the board, motion for adjournment.
I make a motion for adjournment.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
All right.